So yeah, you can hear me? Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay, it's good. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations, NFT Paris, Com, Alexander, and all the team. You made an amazing work, so congrats. And so I'm the co-founder of The Big Whale. It's an European Web3 media, and I'm very pleased to host today Nicolas Julia from Sorare. Thank you so much, Nicolas, for being with us. Today we have 20 minutes together, so it's way less than 90 minutes of a football match, but I'm sure that we're going to have a good exchange on entrepreneurship, Web3, and also innovation in gaming. But first question, how are you? I know that you are a busy man.
Hi, Ron. I'm very excited to be here. Look, 4 years ago, no, even more, 5 years ago, I was at Coin House, and I think you were in the room.
Yes.
And we were like, in front of us were like, I think 10, 15 people. It was probably the first NFT meetup in Paris. It was in 2018. And we were hosting the team from Dapper Labs, explaining CryptoKitties, right, which is one of the very few early projects using non-fungible technology. And so 5 years later, like seeing such an amazing event here with, I've heard 10,000 people talking about this technology, makes me like very, very happy, very energized, and very confident for the future. So that's how I feel today. Of course, like it's like tough times for the market in general. I think we should acknowledge that. And there's going to be more ups and downs, right? But
and it's a good point. I mean, we are in something like a bear market. I mean, how you see the next year and how you feel as a CEO of a big company in the space?
I think that, you know, when you are deeply convinced about the potential of the technology to change the way we own stuff online, right? And so you see all the potential to disrupt different industries and change the way we own our digital lives. You kind of, you don't like these times, right? Because it's painful. It's painful for everyone, let's say it, right? But you try to take the best of these times, which is, okay, you have less noise. You have people that are here for the good reasons.
Let's build.
Yeah, so you can focus on one matter, improve your product, interact with your community, improve your product, and so on, right? So that's how I feel today. And so when we started with Sorare, so in 18, so ETH was moving down from 1,000 to 100, right? So it was very tough times. Not a single venture capitalist was willing to invest in anything touching crypto, as we were saying back in the days, right? So we've went through from like the up and downs, and we will go out of this, and the companies that will focus on what matters, the product, the users, will get much stronger after that.
And talking about the VCs, do you think that their minds have changed? I mean, on this subject, do you feel something new?
Look, I think that they are always a bit chasing the next shiny thing, right? So right now it's artificial intelligence, and then it's going to be something else. And so it's, of course, easier to raise money in bull markets, right? But I think that the companies that are demonstrating traction, right, and so user engagement will raise money. And so from what I see, at least in Europe, money at early stage is still here, right? It gets difficult at Series A, Series B, and later, but it's still like possible to raise money right now.
Okay, and so you built a company, Sorare, with, I mean, NFTs and card for players. What did you choose? I mean, NFTs, and what do you think that they can improve in the game space?
Yeah, so first of all, we use this technology because we believe it's the best to do what we do, right? We are not in the business of selling a technology or selling an NFT. We are in the business of building the biggest brand in the world of sports and the best games in the world of sports. And it happens that when I saw non-fungible technology, I was like, whoa, okay, with that stuff, we can own stuff online. And if we can own stuff online, we can have digital scarcity. And human beings have been collecting stuff in the physical world for centuries. This is something we do for a variety of reasons. And so we are spending more and more time online. Why not do that online? People will want to do that online, right? So I'm a massive sports fan, so I was like, okay, let's bring all the top athletes and leagues and clubs, and let's allow the fans to collect digital stuff. And then I was like, okay, that's cool. That's going to be 10 times bigger than physical collecting in sports. But if you bring a usage value, like something that the users can do every day, every week with their card, then you can build something much bigger, right? So that's where we started to think about games, and so fantasy sports games where you can use your player card to compose a team, and then depending on how the player is doing on the pitch, you can score points and grow, right? So that's how it came about.
Okay, and how did you convince championships and also clubs to work with you, especially in Europe?
Yeah, so look, we closed our first deal with the Belgian Pro League. It was the end of 2018. So nobody knew anything about NFTs. Probably a couple thousand people in the world were like interested about that, and I think it was a combination of three things. One, we had no product, right? Like it was just like a couple of screens, and so I think it was first. So selling the vision, so a bit of what I told you right now.
I remember when the first time you talked about Sorare, it was in 2017, 2018.
End of 17, beginning of 18. Yeah. So selling the vision and you know, explaining them that it could bring more viewership for them. At the end of the day, their business is based on media rights. So if we help them to grow viewership, then we help them make more money, right? Number two, at some point, being ourselves a new revenue stream for them because they take a cut on the sales of the NFTs. And number three, offering a cool product to the fans and showing that we're going to care deeply about them and so on. So it was a combination of these three things. And then it's, you know, there's no recipe. It's hard work, and don't do stuff that are in the books. Like you need to find your way, right? Like there have been, in our space, there have been two companies the last 50, 60 years that have done what we've done, like Electronic Arts with the games FIFA and so on. And then Panini, right, that managed to acquire, like we have hundreds of partnerships now in the world of sports, the NBA, the Premier League, and so on. So you need to start small, be hungry, and yeah, battle. Yeah.
And you explained several times that you don't want only to be NFT company. You want to be a fantasy gaming company. Can you explain a little bit more your view on this point, please?
I just don't think that NFTs are a space. There's no such thing as an NFT company. I think that you have a usage. You are an art company. You are a gaming company. You are whatever, right? And so it appears that there's certain technology that are helping you, you know, do whatever is best for your community. And these things like the users need to feel the benefits, right? But you don't need to teach. I've always told our team we are not in the business of explaining what is an NFT. Users must feel the benefits of owning an NFT. I can resell it. I can move it away. I have transparency. All of this stuff that are native to NFTs must be felt, right? Rather than taught, I think.
Okay, and regulation. You had some trouble in Europe, especially in France, with
conversations.
Yeah, conversation. And you saw that in the US, I mean, Top Shot and other NFTs could be considered as a security. Do you think that this is a massive threat for your industry?
Yeah, so I've read the recent reports about Dapper Labs and Top Shot, and so from what I understand, it's more the relationship between their own token and the collectible itself that is under scrutiny right now. There's no judgment that has been given, right? But so that's our understanding. In our case, we've always said, look, why would we need to do an ICO, to have a token, to do our own blockchain? What's the benefit for the user? Of course, we could have raised dozens, if not hundreds of millions doing so, but what's the benefit? There's no benefit. It's adding complexity in the economy and so on. So we always wanted to stay away from that, and we will. And so, to be frank, it's helpful, right, when it comes to regulatory matters. So at least financial. Then you have gaming regulations, and then you have no framework, because of course you are creating a new category with a product that is totally different, with risks that are totally different and stuff that exists. And so you need to have something that is built ad hoc. And so we are very lucky here to have a government that is pushing for Web3, that wants leaders from Web3 to be built out there. And that want like a new framework to help these companies to grow. Our approach has always been to be proactive and to engage in these conversations to build this framework.
Okay, very interesting. And we are in Paris. You are French, so actually, yeah, what do you think about the French ecosystem? Do you think that apart big blue chip like Ledger or Sorare, are there any other company that you are interested in France, in Europe?
Look, there's dozens of companies that are building amazing things here when it comes to gaming, art, DeFi, and more. I don't want to name anyone because otherwise I will miss for sure. But there's lots of energy, there's lots of creativity, there's lots of engineering talent, there's lots of support from the government. The ambition change from, so I'm not that old, but 10 years ago when I got started, like we find more and more entrepreneurs that are thinking globally as opposed to thinking about how I'm going to serve the French market or the European market. So that's amazing. Yeah, so I'm bullish, and I think there's much more to come in the coming years.
And which advice could you give to Web3 entrepreneurs that want to build not only, I mean, a startup, but maybe a bigger company?
So I think there's two things. One, when it comes to NFTs or Web3, what are the native use cases that are unlocked by the technology, right? Like, so when you have a radical innovation, I think you should think about what is it going to unlock, right? So we had mobile, we had the internet, we had all this radical new technology. They each unlocked by themselves new companies, right? You cannot have Uber without mobile, right? So, and why? Because there's a couple of things that mobile was uniquely doing that enabled this company to flourish, right? And so it's the same for Web3, it's the same for NFT. So I think I believe the biggest companies leveraging this technology would be true to the native new things that are unlocked by this technology, not trying to do stuff that we are doing in the physical world, or like it's like when the web came out, like you had some certain companies like copy and pasting how it was done before on the web, and it was ugly and it was not working. And so that's the same for NFT. So what are those new things that are unlocked by the technology? So digital scarcity enables collection, enables like digital art, like transparency, traceability, portability for gaming, like what is new, right? So when I think about our industry, gaming, when I think about Web2 gaming, like every year, $100 billion are spent by fans, by gamers, buying game items. They don't own them, right? You cannot resell them. You cannot move them outside of the game. You cannot use it in the next sports season when it comes to a sports game. And so with an NFT, with real ownership, you can move them away, you can resell them freely, and so on. And so that's that's a huge step forward for the gamers.
Okay, thank you very much. If you want to pitch your project to Nicolas, don't hesitate. Thank you so much again, and have a nice day here at NFT Paris. Thank you.
Thank you, Raphaël. Thank you, everyone.
Very much.